Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and thanks for joining. In this video, we are going to cover Azure Databricks. In one video, we are going to cover Azure Databricks from basic to advanced level. The agenda of this video is like first we are going to cover what is Azure Databricks. After that, we will see the architecture and the business use case. How actually in real time where actually the Azure Databricks stands, how the flow looks like, how we can use the analysis, how we can use Databricks for the machine learning training and all. After that, we are going to cover a Databricks overview. We are going to see how we can use a workspace, how the workspace look like. After that, we are going to see how in Databricks we can use a pyspark, Spark SQL, R, Scala, everything we are going to see. After that, we will cover the how we can create a job and how we can schedule them. After that, we are going to see how we can create a notebook, we can schedule them, how we can monitor if any kind of the failure happens. After that, we will end up with real-time case study where we will see whole process in one by one. So don't forget to subscribe my channel and stay tuned. We are going to see what is Databricks and what is Azure Databricks. So before coming to the Azure Databricks, first we should understand what is Databricks. So Databricks was founded by the original creator of Apache Spark itself. What actually they have done is like they have created a web-based platform for working with Apache Spark, and they have automated the cluster management also. So in the Databricks workspace itself, the cluster management was handled, and so we don't need to manually handle the clusters and all. Apart from that, they are also providing a IPython kind of notebook. So if we are coming from a data science background, we all aware about the how actually IPython notebook look like, how Jupyter notebook look like. The same kind of the IPython notebook they have provided so that it will be easy for data science, data engineering and data analytics people to work on. And also in a Databricks we can use a Python, PySpark, Spark SQL, R and Scala. This kind of the language also you can use. So it is making life easy for the data analysts, data engineering and data science people. Azure Databricks, so Azure for making the process more easy for the data analysis, data engineering. Azure Cloud Platform is collaborating with the Databricks, so that's why we are calling it the Azure Databricks. So in the next slide, we are going to see the architecture so that it will be easy for us to understand more. Let's see how actually Databricks architecture look like and how actually in real time we can use a Databricks and where actually it stands. So this is the actual flow which you can see. So generally what actually happen is like we are getting a data from a different resources. We are getting a data from a business application, from custom application, and also we can have a sensor application. So first step is like first we have to get the data into a common space. So that is our first step. That is nothing but a ingesting. So what actually we try to do is like we first try to ingest the data into a particular store. How we can ingest the data? We can use a data factory where actually we can use a pipeline so that we can derive a kind of the pipeline where actually it is copying our data from a one source to the particular location. So that is the one way you can do it. The other way is like we also have a Kafka is a streaming application which provide a real time scenario, like in real time like sensor device generating a data. So Kafka actually help us to get the data from a sensor and store into a particular store. Suppose we are storing into a data lake, we can use a Flume Kafka kind of structure also. Okay. Apart from that, we can also use a Event Hub, IoT Hub. These are the things are available which actually help you to ingest the data into a particular store. The next step is like the store. Next thing comes is like the data blobs, data lakes. As most of the company use a data lake because it is very cheap, and so what actually we do is like we ingest the data and we try to store somewhere, so we use a blob data lake store. Okay. Now after that usually what actually happen is like in data lake we generally try to store any kind of the data. If it is unstructured, most of the data is unstructured, so we had to get the meaningful information from that data. So how actually we can do? So next step comes like preparation and the training. So in the training process, the databricks comes into the picture. In databricks, what actually we do is like we try to get the meaningful information from the data. So we use a, you can use a pyspark, you can use a spark sql, we can use a ml lib, scala. So these kind of the things, databricks provide the web-based ui where actually you will write a code so that you can clean the data and you can get the proper structured data. And so that the next step will be like after databricks you will store in somewhere like sql data warehouse and all, and this data will be in the proper structure format. And after that we will try to do some kind of the reporting like analytic dashboard and all. So that is how actually the architecture look like. So suppose in real world, suppose one scenario is like we have a business apps, we have a media file, and we have a IoT sensor. These are generating a data. So first step will be like we will try to ingest the data. We can use a data factory. Either we can use a Kafka, either we can use a event hub. First we will try to get the data into a common store. So suppose we are getting a data from we are ingesting a data factory, we are storing into a data lake. Usually it will be a unstructured data. So from this unstructured data, to get the proper structure format and to clean the data, we use a query into a databricks. Either you can use a pyspark or spark sql. And once you have a proper structured data, you will store into a data warehouse, and in the top of that you will do a analytics reporting for the business use case. So that is how actually in the real world also it works. So it is very important to know about the Databricks workspaces, how we can use a cluster management, and even in Databricks you can use a machine learning, you can use a Spark ML lib and all. So that is how actually it stands. So usually Databricks we use is for the preparation and the training. To clean the data we use a Databricks. Going to see how we can use the Azure Databricks community editions. To get the Azure Databricks community edition, you have to go into the Google, you have to type Databricks, you have to go into the databricks.com. Let me type Databricks. So after that, this is the one, the databricks.com. Here you have to click. Once you will click, this is a particular screen will come, and here you have to give your name. Okay. Once you will fill this, once you will fill this. You have to click on get started for free. After that this particular screen will come. So this is nothing but this is the collaborated with Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure and Google platform. If you want to use with that, it will charge you. Okay, but we are going to use a community edition that is free. If you will see in the bottom, it is showing like get started with the community edition. Click on that. Now after that it will ask for the verification. Okay, once you will do the verification, it will send an email to your Gmail account. After that you have to log in. Okay, so that is a simple step which we have to do. Once you log in, you will end up to this particular screen. This is a Databricks screen, and most of the work which we are going to do here only. Okay, now if you will see into left side, there is one Databricks icon, and the below that you can see data science and engineering and machine learning. So the for separate data science engineering team we can give a this access, and for the machine learning team we can give a this access. Okay, now in the bottom if you see here, it is showing like create. Once you will click on the create button, you can see you can create a notebook, table and cluster from here itself. So if you want to create any kind of the notebook, you have to click on the notebook and the notebook will be created. We will see into later how we can create. Okay, in the bottom you can see the workspace. Okay, and so this is the first screen. Okay, in the workspace you will get to see the shared and the users will be like, in your company so many users will be there who are using this Databricks. So all the user will be shown into the users, and shared will be like, if you are created any kind of the notebook which you want to put into a shared location so that everyone can look. So for that actually we will use a shared. If you will click on the shared, you will go here. If you will click here, there is one option like create, so that you can create a notebook, library, folder, ml flow, any kind. Okay, the similarly for the user also you can do it. Go here, click click on the create. You can create a notebook, library, folder and all. Okay, so that is the use of the workspace. Now next is the recent. So whatever the kind of the recent activity you are doing, so everything will be shown here. If you are working on the particular notebook, so that a recent activity will be shown here. Okay, after that search, here actually you can search the workspace and all. Okay, the next is the data. So whatever the database you will be having, so all the database will be shown here. In company usually we have so many database and so many tables, so every table and database will be shown here. So you can go to the data, you can go to the database, and you can select to the table. Okay, after that the compute option will come. In the compute option, what actually we can do is like we can create a cluster. So uh, what actually we have to do is like we just have to click on the create cluster. Yeah, we have to give the name of the cluster POC1, and this is the option you can see. And this is the free 15 GB memory which they are providing, and this is available only for the 2 hours. Okay, after that we you just have to click on the create cluster. As of now it is not showing for me because I already have created a cluster. Okay, now let's create a one notebook. Once you will click on the notebook, you have to give the name of the notebook. Okay, and if you see in the language, it is option showing like Python, Scala, SQL and R. Based on the your requirement you can select any language. As of now I am selecting as a Python. And after that we have to select the cluster. Whatever the cluster we have created, that cluster we have to select. Click on the create. So if you see, this actually look like the Python notebook, the Jupyter notebook. How actually in Jupyter we work, it looks similarly to that. Okay, now if you see here, here actually all your cluster will be shown. In generally company you can have a multiple cluster, so on which cluster you will have access, that cluster you have to select. After that the file, if you want to create a new notebook, if you want to clone, everything you can do from here. And here we have an option like the replace, delete, sale. These are kind of the options are available here. And here if you see in the right side, revision history, so whatever the changes you will do into particular notebook, all the revision of the particular notebook will be stored here, and so that you can revise your history also. So that is very useful. And after that, this notebook actually you can publish also, and you can share also. As of now we are using a community edition, that's why all the options are not shown, but most of the options are shown here. Okay, now here you can write any kind of your code, similarly like Python. Okay, so this is the how actually it looks like. So we are going to see more like how actually we can work on this. Okay, hello everyone. Now let's see how we can create a table on this notebook. So previously we have seen the how actually the Databricks look like, how we can create a notebook, and how the workspace look like. Okay, now let's try to create a one table. Okay, so how actually we can create a table? First you have to go to the this data option, click on this data. Okay, you can see one option like create table, and click. Once you will click on the create new table, you can see this data source option. It is showing like upload file. Even you can mount with S3, dbfs and other data source. As of now I am going to use a CSV file. Just click on this. I'm going selecting this test1.csv file. After that, I'm clicking on the create table with UI. Okay. Once you will do that, it will ask you like to select a cluster. So I am selecting a POC cluster which I have created. Okay. After that, it is asking like what is the table name. I am giving a table name as an employee. Okay. After that, it is asking a database. As of now, I have created into a default database. File type is my CSV, and my first row is header. Okay. Now if you can see ID we have, name we have, and salary we have. So salary actually I wanted to give as an integer. So we have to select as an infer schema because we are changing a schema. Okay. After that we just have to click on the create table. Once you will click on the create table, you can see the default dot employee, this table has been created. Now what we are going to do is I am going to create a new notebook. I am giving a name as an employee. Okay. I am selecting as a SQL and cluster as selected and clicking on the create. Now this is the SQL. Okay. And if you want to see what are the tables you have, you can give a command show tables. Okay. As of now you can see I have two tables. Database is default and the table name is employee and test1 CSV. As of now we have created an employee table. So let's see what is this employee table look like. So I am selecting select star from the employee. I had to give a database name also. Okay. Now you can see this is your table where you have ID, name, and the salary. So and you see like here we have a table select star from employee. Now here you can see we have ID, name, and salary. Now if you want to find out from here the maximum salary, how you will do that? So it is same like the how actually we write a SQL query. Okay, the same kind of the SQL query you can write here also because we have selected a SQL language. Okay, PMP select maximum salary from employee. I got it. Now suppose this is your table and suppose you want to find out the cumulative salary. Like the salary should be sum of s. Okay, how actually you can do it? Select sum of salary, order by salary from employee over is missing. Now if you will get to see, let's give as a name cumulative salary. Okay. Now if you see you have ID, you have a name, you have ID, you have a name. Okay. And the order by salary mean based on the ascending order, it is actually getting some. So we have a like this salary. Okay. So what actually it is doing, it is doing a sum. So here if you say we have 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, total is 40,000. After the 40,000 plus 15,000, we are getting 15,000. So like that actually it is doing a sum. After that all the 20,000, it is doing a sum and it is plus with the 55,000. I am getting 1,15,000 and this 1,15,000, it is doing a sum with 30,000. I am getting a 1,45,000. Okay, so like this actually it is working. So all the 10,000 it is doing a sum. I'm getting 40,000. After that the 15,000, 55,000. So like that you can have any kind of the SQL query which you can write. We can use a Python here. Okay, so if you click on the create button, we are going to create the new notebook. I am giving as a emp1. Now is this at this time I am selecting Python as a default language cluster. I am selecting and creating a new notebook. Okay, so here we are going to use a Python. I can you can see like if I will give like this, I can execute a Python command same like how actually we do in a Jupyter notebook. Okay, now let's see like how we can use a how we can write any kind of the Python. Okay, so if you see we have a table like, and the table name was amp, right. Now what actually I'm creating a data frame. Okay, I'm creating a data frame and spark.sql. This what actually it does, it like it will actually execute your all the Python code. So in a Python code, what actually I'm doing here actually I am using a SQL command only, and this with the help of this spark.sql I am actually converting this into a data frame. So suppose if you have to create any kind of a data frame, you can use like this. You have to first use the spark.sql, and after that you if you are writing any kind of the SQL query, so it will actually convert your it will convert your SQL query into a data frame. Now I have a data frame. If you want to see the result, if you will do df.so, it is showing like df is not defined. Now you can see like df.so is showing the id, name and so salary. So like this actually you can use a pyspark also. And if you want to see the count, you can see 9. The total row is 9, that's why it is showing one. And now here we are going to see the one of the case study. So what actually I will do is like, I have a data. Let me show you first Excel file. Okay, so this is the file which I have. Okay, here these are the users which I have. User I have like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 2. If you can see, some of the duplicate values are also here, right? And also if you can see, we have some kind of the null value also is present. Okay, I have a second column is as a name. After that I have a salary. After that I have a location. After that I have a date. After that I have a attendance of that particular user, whether they are present or not. So what actually we will do is like, first we will try to load this into, we are trying to create a table into a databricks. After that, on top of that, we will perform some kind of the transformation, where we will try to find some kind of the analytics. Okay, okay, so let me open a databricks. So this is the databricks, and if you want to create a table, you have to go to the this data, create table. You have to click on the browse button where actually the data is located. You have to select the file, create table with UI, select cluster, preview table, name of the table, employee 1. I'm giving as a employee 1 as a table name. Okay, the database name is default. File type I'm selecting CSV. First row as a header I'm selecting. Infer schema, what actually infer schema will do, it is automatically it will select the type of the schema. Okay, and if you want to change, you can change also name, salaries integer, location string, date. We can select as a timestamp, attendance is string. Okay, after that click on the create table. Okay, this is the particular table which we have created, employee 1. Now what we will do, we will try to create a notebook. Notebook name I will give employee 1, and the language I will select as a SQL. Cluster is same POC. Okay, now if you want to see your all the table, you have to write show tables. It will show you all the tables which you have created, but our table name is employee 1. To know how actually our table looks like, first I will write a select query employee 1. Okay, now you can see we have a user name, salary, location, date and attendance. Now what actually we have to do, we have to first find out maximum salary based on location. That is the first thing which we have to find out. After that, what we have to do, we have to remove the duplicates. Duplicates records are also there, so we have to remove that duplicates records. Okay, after that what actually we will do is like, we will do based on the location maximum salary we have already find out. We will try to find out the cumulative salary. Create new column, cumulative salary based on user. Okay, so that is the one thing which we will do. Yeah, so let's start, like maximum salary based on the location. So we know like how we can find out the maximum salary. Maximum salary from employee 1. Okay, and we have to find out based on the location. So I will select location also, and what I will do, I will do a group by based on the 2, and I will run it. It is still running. There may be a problem because we can see location is also showing in uh, a different color. Maybe location also they are given as a preference. Let's see. Till then we will see like how we can remove the duplicates. We can see we have some kind of the duplicate records, like one is the duplicate record, it's appear multiple time. How we can do that? Okay, if I will write select distinct user, distinct name from employee 1, it will give you my distinct name of the employee. That is the one way and the simple way which we can perform. Okay, and suppose if you have to find out the new column where the cumulative salary we have to find out. Okay, how we can do it? So select sum of salary we have over clause, order by salary, order by order by id we have to do, order by user from employee 1, and you can put star also. So this will give you that particular record. So that is how actually we can do. We can create a table. We can perform some kind of the location, and yeah. Now if you will see, it is finally executed. What actually I had done, select maximum salary location from employee 1. So based on the location, actually it is giving as we have a null record also. So let's handle this also. Where location is not null. Now you can see in based on the India location, the maximum salary is 20,000. So I'm getting 20,000. If you see based on the Canada 50,000, and for the US we have a 30,000 as a maximum. So that is how actually we can calculate. And now second thing is like remove the duplicate. As of now, what I have done, the distinct name only I selected, so it is showing me the distinct name. But this is not the proper way of doing. We will see it later. Before that, first we will come into the new column. Here, based on the ID, what actually we are doing, we are summing up the salary. Now let's give as a cumulative salary, and what actually we will do, we will select only the user salary, sum of salary, user salary, sum of salary. I am selecting. Let me execute. Okay. Now you can see some of the users are null also. Let's handle that also. Where user is not null. Now you can see based on the user. For the user 1 the total cumulative salary is 20,000. For the user 2, it is summing 20,000 plus 20,000 plus 20,000. I am getting the 60,000. 60,000 plus 10,000, we are getting 70,000. 70,000 plus 15,000, 85,000. 85,000 plus 20,000, 1 lakh 5,000. So like that actually it is summing up. So that is how we can find out the cumulative salary. Now let's see how we can do the remove the duplicates also. Now let's see, select name, or we can see like user count star from employee 1, where user is not null, having count star greater than 1. Let's see what are the, and also we have to apply a group by user. Now if you can see user 1 and 2, these are the two duplicate records are there. Okay. So with this we can find out like these two are the duplicate records. But what actually we have to do is that we have to remove this duplicate. Okay. That is one way of doing. Now I will show you the another approach with the help of row number. How we can do this with the help of row number. Row number over partition by user order by I'm giving salary from employee 1 where user is not null, and I'm selecting all the records. Okay, so what actually it will do, it will create a row number and it will partition all the user. Okay, let's see how actually it will look like. So this is we can give row number as rn. So if you see, this user is repeating two times. So first time it is giving us a rank 1, second time it is giving us a rank 2. This 2 also is repeated two times. So first time it is giving rank 1, second time rank 2. And rest of them, they all are coming only one time. So that's why 1. Now with this query, we only want to get the only one record. So we have a cd function. Okay. Now what you can do, select star from ct where rn equal to 1. Now if you see, all the uh, duplicates has been removed, only non duplicate records are shown here. So that is how actually we can calculate the duplicates and all. And that's it from this video. That's how actually you can perform a multiple transformation and the cleaning operation with the help of the Databricks. So yeah, if you have any doubt, you can comment so that I will include that also.